Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Benjamin, and well, welcome to the stream. Let me make sure I've got everything. I got my water. I've got my mint julep, and well, I've got just about everything. I just need to get the link, and okay, we're gonna go to a certain place, and I'm going to put the link here. There we go. And that is that. And we're going to hit play. And I'm going to make sure this is live and get my chat up. So that way I can read it for everybody. And really quickly, I am just going to pretty quickly make moves in my correspondence game against my little brother and one of my brother's friends. Okay, so I don't want to do this. Okay. He's got that pinned. And if I were to just play here, pick up the tempo. There we go. And now we're going to go over to here and start getting some rapid games up. And this is all I'm going to be playing is 10-minute rapid. Hey, what's up? You put it in there about 3 times, but I'll answer you once. Let's pop up to here, up to here. Okay, so we're getting an open Sicilian today, which is always fun. He's going to play Najdorf. We're going to play 6f4, e5, knight f3, e6, g4. I cannot play g4 now. That's a pretty common move. The response I should play is actually I can leave it there. I'm going to play a4, restrict b5. If he takes, I'm just going to take with my queen, and I'll be fine. Just play open tall. I might. I'm doing great election predictions. Okay, so he wants me to play knight f3. It's not that big a deal. I'll get an isolated pawn. He has a weaker isolated pawn. My isolated pawn, I can just throw up the board. It's not that. I'm not going to be adding music just because, personally, I don't want to get a copyright strike. That's the big reason, but there's also another reason. And that one's because I don't have any royalty-free music queued up. I would, but again, like I said, I don't want to get a copyright strike, and I just don't have royalty-free music. I'm going to castle kingside, queen here to g3, and I think I'll be good. Okay, so he wants to do that. Meh. Let's see. He's going to take there. I'm just going to go here. I don't mind sacrificing an exchange, to be honest. Or I don't even need the sack in exchange. I'm going to take here, play bishop here. He takes, I can do this. I'll just have a very good position. Okay, so he wants to do that. Truthfully, there is zero reason for him to take this pawn. Okay. Well, I just drop back here. He's going to play knight e6. I'm surprised he didn't play knight e6. Well, fine, we'll play this. And he can't take advantage. Do that. He's going to take here. I take back with the queen. And I'm perfectly okay. This is a fine position, in my opinion. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, and typically I stream a lot earlier. I just went to the bowling alley because I won a bowl in a tournament, so I had to actually get it and pay for it. Let's pick up tempo on the queen. Queen g3 is my next move. Or is it? Yeah, we're going to play queen g3. He plays here. I may not win the piece, but I've got an. I think I just get a tempo. Yeah. So, yeah, that'll just give me a tempo. It's where I want my queen. Well, I want my queen on this file. He won't have time. I'm going to play this here. Okay, that's one way to deal with that. Take this. It's a little bit of a surprise to me, but a move, I guess. I guess I'll go queen here, threatens this piece, and the knight has to go back to g7. Okay, so he's going to want to take this. You know what? We're going to pick up, we're going to do this force. That was just a mistake. He just gave me a knight for free. And, of course, I'm defending this. So what I need to do... Okay, so he's not actually attacking anything. Okay. This is the tough part, to be honest. Actually, this works. Does it? Okay, so what I'm looking at. No, JJ. Gee whiz. Did you even read the description? I'm playing chess, deal with it. This is my Sunday streams. Okay, so what I'm looking at is queen f5. He's going to play rook e6. So what if I were to play... No, I can't take there. I need to quit. Okay, I guess... Problem is I need to keep communication with this with the f3 square. I guess I can play here. His king is kind of locked in here. If he plays this, I take it, and that's just there's good and there's not good. Deal with it. Like, the reason why I play chess on Sundays is just because I want to, and it's a fun game. It helps me think. It clears my mind. You know, it kind of helps me deal with long weeks. And man, I love a good mint julep. Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston? I prefer Whitney Houston. But that's just me. Okay, so he wants to trade queens. I don't see a better way to convert, so I am okay with trading queens. He's going to take with the rook. Yep. Okay, so step one, let's back up this. He's going to play probably rook here. I guess that means I can drop in here. Attack the pawn. Man, if only I could keep pressure on this diagonal. What do I want to do? What if I just went here? Yeah, exactly. What the other people in the comments are saying to you, JJ. But I don't honestly want to, you know. Well, that's just not good. He just put both of his rooks on the same diagonal. That's a win for me. See, taking my time and actually figuring the position out. Well, we're going to take this exchange. We're going to take this pawn. Truthfully, I don't want to lose material, so I'm just going to defend this pawn. Okay. Well, I can take a pawn here. This pawn is nothing. Worst case, I can sacrifice a rook for it. I'm okay. I'm not the greatest in the world. Trust me, I lose a lot of games to stupid mistakes. Okay. So, how am I going to stop this pawn? Because I do need to actually stop his passed pawn. Yeah, we're going to play rook c5, rook d1, rook up. Goodness gracious, JD. But yeah, so this is my plan in the ending. I hate endings. I really do. But I think a full rook should be enough to convert. Though I have lost a full rook up, which is not something I like to admit. Okay, so okay, so we're gonna play this because I don't want to give him any pawns or anything. Okay, so he wants to do that. We give a check. If we get behind his pawn, he has to move it forward or he loses it. Or, well, he could also, you know, we're just going to take it. He's going to get this pawn. I'm perfectly okay with that, to be honest. We're going to activate my king. I don't care if he gets this pawn. Doesn't mean anything to me. Let's attack his rook. The problem is he doesn't actually have the ability to do anything because I can keep this rook at bay with one of mine and just, you know, clean up when I need to. I mean, trading rooks would be great for me here. Doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter how I do it, to be honest. Yeah. Thank you. That's something I've wanted to say for a long time, election predictions. Oh, goody. So he trades. Okay. This will make it easy for me. He can't advance this pawn. Go here, collect this pawn. Yep, so he defends it. I can do this. I'm going to go here. Push him back. This is a win for me. Question is, will he see that I'm about to check? Yep, okay. So, easiest win for me is just to collect these pawns, prevent the counterplay. There we go. He was probably hoping for a mouse slip. Exactly. Okay, he actually wants a rematch. I feel okay. I feel okay with giving him. Yeah. Okay, so e4. But yeah, so earlier today I did go to a bowling pro shop because, you know, like I said, in the tournament I did win a bowling ball. That's peculiar, but whatever. Why do people play this type of stuff? Okay, so I don't want him to. I was about to play bishop c5, but then he would actually be able to just take this pawn. And when I took back with my knight, he played d4, forking the two pieces. It's a well-known trick. It's actually got a name, but personally, I don't think it's anything to write home about. I don't see why he did that, but okay. I'm just going to drop my queen back. Now I actually can, because when he forks me, I can just take, you know, take with the bishop on d4. So he can't actually fork me in this position. I hate doing this, but I have to play f6. Okay, that's enough. Sorry, JJ, but you're spamming, so I'm getting a little bit of a timeout. Sorry about that. But, you know, spam in the comments isn't a way to get me to do what you want. We're going to play a5, restricts b4. Because I don't want him somehow getting onto this diagonal. I'm just going to put my king in the corner. Well, I'm going to do that. Now, since this isn't check, he actually has to do something about his queen. I get his bishop. Actually, that just won a piece, didn't it? Huh. Well, that's funny. I just won a piece. Well, I don't think he planned on that. Well. Actually, I want my knight there. It's way too good. It's going to be way too good on that square. So I'm actually going to do everything I can to support it. If only I could, you know, switch the bishop and the pawn, I would be thrilled. But having a pawn here controls these two squares. It's actually going to be extremely difficult for him to do anything. Actually, how is he doing anything? Okay. Really? That pawn? Really? You happy about that? Because you're not actually doing anything. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this. He's, like I said, he's not actually doing anything. He's going to take this. I'm going to recapture. I mean, yeah, he's going to get another pawn, but he doesn't have any he doesn't have compensation for the piece. So he wants to put a rook there. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to put my rook here, take this pawn out, and how is he stopping this? He's going to have to go here to shut it down, and he has to play g4 first, yeah. And this pawn is just not fast enough. You know, I could even play, well, I don't want to do that. I want to go queen here, and I'm just threatening here and wins. That said, I will need to move my rook somewhere, probably all the way to g8, though. It isn't the most active piece there. Well, where would it be most active? Probably e8 there. The bishop protects it, and the bishop's protected by this, which is protected by this, and the rook protects the king. Okay. So I'm just going to move it here to d8. There it protects this pawn, and now I can start figuring out how I'm going to Okay, so he wants to do that. Well, darn it. Well, I guess I have to play here. He's going to probably take this, yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to go here. It said he does now have 3 pawns for the piece, which is not ideal. And they're all passed, and this one's actually pretty quick. I would not want to do that. You know what? I'm going to be quite happy to trade. Okay, I play here. He takes. Okay, so I can't do that because that would be mate. I don't want to take this because he just takes with the rook. So I don't want to trade queens. Instead, I could play this. Attack this. I'm still defending this. So now he's actually going to have to defend this pawn. And I can drop my rook here. Or I can blockade. Something tells me I don't want to blockade. What if I kept the pressure on? This would be a much better way for me to trade queens. That's how I want. Maybe. It's a possibility. I wish there was a square I could hit that covered all of them. Go here. I can drop to here. Still maintaining pressure on this pawn. He has no way to defend this without, you know, lashing out. Interestingly enough, I have a windmill. I have a windmill, potentially. If he doesn't want to get checkmated. But can he block the windmill? Well, that was easy. I just play here, take, and that's it. He just signed his own warrant, his own death warrant. I don't think he intended to do that either. I'm going to go here. Doesn't matter what he does. this should be a win. Well, that's one way to do it. Okay, so we're going to go here. And this is just basic rook tactics. Okay, we've got a check there. Let me read the comments because y'all talking about politics. Suburban people are weird, to be honest. And this is how you checkmate. Dan Malloy, maybe. I need to do a little bit more research on Dan Malloy, but it's possible. Okay. I should hit new opponent and get a new opponent. And yes, I know it gives me an annoying sound, but okay, so in 1938, how many games has he played at Rapid? Okay, over 3,000. And I've only played how many Rapid games? Just under 1,000. Well, 750. But same thing, right? He's not about to be impeached. As much as I think a lot of people would enjoy it, I just don't think he's going to be impeached. It really, somebody who doesn't want to play with the white pieces, that's pretty rare. It's, in my opinion, very likely that he will be reelected, but, you know, that's just my opinion looking on how Americans deal with incumbents. I know he's very unpopular, but I just don't see. I honestly just don't see him losing. We're going to play A4 again, restrict this. For some weird reason, it looks like I just got an Italian game where I managed to get in F4, which is not normal. Ooh, I like this. We're going to drop our bishop back. Take. Take. See what he does. Let's see how he takes back. Play D4. We're threatening D5, obviously. I'm honestly curious. That doesn't look healthy. Okay, I want to think a little bit here. Take a little bit of time. We're obviously going to make this threat. It just protects my pawn. His king is over here on this side of the board, so that's good news for me, I think. Oh, yeah. It's difficult for Republicans to do that well, to be honest. Okay, so I want to defend this pawn, and the only realistic way to do that is to actually push it. See, this is the power of a strong center. And that's the problem with allowing your opponent a strong center. And I don't want to trade queens. I wanted to play the King's Gambit if I did. See, where's the ideal place to drop my queen back to? Unfortunately, I don't think there's a good way to decline the trade. So we're going to do this. I'm going to pick up a tempo. I'm happy with that part. we've got this coming, and honestly, I think I'm fine. Okay, so what now? Well, I want control of the open file here. So I'm going to move my rook to the center. Do I need to explain why Hillary would lose again? Do I really need to explain why Hillary would lose? To say she was unpopular doesn't do justice to how unpopular she was. Covers this square. If he tries to kick my knight. Okay, so he does have a pawn on me, but I think I have the winning chances. Mitt Romney was a bit corporate. A bit might be an understatement. I can kick this knight somewhere. Actually, has to go back. That's peculiar. Might allow me the opportunity to get e6 in. Properly prepared. I'm going to do that. Play knight d4 and probably e6. Or not. Okay. So I need to move my king over before I play e6. Or I could just blunder the piece. Why did I not see c5? Honestly, this game is resignable. I don't have any counterplay. Michigan is weird, probably because it's right next to Canada. We're going to do this. I am not going to give him the satisfaction of getting a massive attack developed at my expense. Truth is, I'm actually surprised he didn't play the Danish. So I'm going to pin his knight. Okay. I'm going to take that with check. He's going to take back with the pawn probably because he wants to maintain this one. I'm slightly impressed with that, but we're going to castle first. And get a check. Let's block that check. We're going to threaten to win the piece. He's going to play probably f3. Oh, we're not threatening to win the piece. Why did I think I was? Okay. The problem is he's not actually threatening to win this. I do want to try and get him to give this bishop up. So it wants to do that, huh? Well, I guess I can do this. If you play... And of course, the main idea is this is just a place where I can get my queen. Knight's no longer pinned. And I can do something with it. I'd say both Booker and Romney are about equally corporate. Though I'm not sure how much it actually matters. Because Americans don't like corporatism right now. So who honestly knows? Okay, there we go. Okay, so he defends that. I can get a quick and easy check in like this. Take this, and I'm still defending this. And it's, I mean, obviously with a tempo. And I would say maybe I want to play knight here. Put some pressure here. No, knight here is probably best. I can see the argument for knight here. Yeah, we're going to play the knight here. Doesn't matter if he takes it with anything, to be honest, because I'm not pinned. I'm going to attack. He doesn't have time to take my bishop. I can drop it back. Next move. Also, I realize that I play rapid like most people play blitz. Well, thanks for the free tempos, my man. Okay, he's not actually threatening anything. I can go here. If he really wants to drop back to here, that would be funny if I trapped his queen on this square. And he's not threatening to take this. And that was a terrible mistake. Okay, so he's probably going to be stuck going to there. That doesn't look healthy. Can I exploit that, though? I was surprised he didn't take here, but whatever. I don't think I can exploit it. Do have an isolated pawn that's about to fall, though. I can push it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. He's not really going to be able to attack my king, so I'm perfectly okay with that. If he wants to win this pawn, he just needs to give up his dark square bishop. Takes. Yeah, there's zero reason for him to do any of that. There's also zero reason for him to do that and get me to threaten this knight. Somewhat surprised he did that. I do need to be careful because that's not even a threat. Where's my queen best? Honestly, as much as I don't want to put my queen on that square, it's best on c6. Or I could just... I don't really have a positional advantage, to be honest. Queen is best on c6, and... oh, maybe. It's just trade queens. He doesn't have the check available because I just do that. And if he plays here, so I'm probably going to do takes here. This is about to be a gigantic mess. I can just sense it. Okay, so we want to play here, threaten his bishop. Also threatens to get my rook onto the 7th rank. It's a red one. Yeah, huh. Offer the trade of queens again. I don't see why he's trying so hard to keep the queens on. I would love to see a landslide in an election, but I just don't see it happening in the foreseeable future. So he's going to get this. I do need to be careful that he doesn't checkmate on the back rank. I can do that by going here and pinning. Or he can do that, which honestly doesn't do anything. Fan-frickin-tastic. Yeah, okay. It's probably my little brother. Okay, that was just a really bad game. If I focus, I can do this. Okay, should I play the advanced or the classical? Let's play the classical. It's more fun, in my opinion. I get the advanced is probably the best way to push for an advantage, but I prefer playing classical. I'm just going to play it here. That said, he doesn't have bishop f5 anymore. Play f3, and my knight's a little bit misplaced, but not terribly so, to be honest. I was about to say, I could get bishop for knight, but I don't think that's going to happen. We're going to castle queenside most likely. Does he really want to do that? I don't understand why he put his knight on d5. It's about to get chased, too. He's going to have to accept the fact that I don't think he's castling. Okay, that's one way to do it. Okay, so my next goal is to just shove this pawn up the board. And my knight's much better placed. Yeah, my knights are much better placed than in, say, a Dragon Sicilian, which is normally where you see this kind of thing. But, okay, so he wants to just shove that pawn up the board. His attack is too slow. He's not developed enough to attack. On the other hand, my attack is very quick. case in point, my attack is already there. It said I will need to kick his knight out of the way in order to make this attack work properly. So we're going to do that. He's probably going to take here. No, he needs to take there. Yeah, I was about to say. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Okay, so we're going to sacrifice on G6. He just doesn't have time to respond, I don't think. Because if he plays Queen A5, I just play C3. Yeah, he wants to trade off queens, right? So I want to stop him from trading off queens because my queen is going to be much better in the attack. And look at how good his developed. Look at his pieces and look at in their relation to his king. And actually, these should be red. I believe. I'm not even going to attempt it, but so we're going to do that. And look at my pieces in contrast. You know, they're all doing something productive in terms of attacking his king. Okay, so we're going to take this. He just really is making this attack easy on me. Notice how in a 10-minute game I've only used, I think that's 37 seconds. Yeah, I've used 37 seconds. Okay, so he wants to do that. Fine. Let's let him do that. G4, we're attacking. You know, if I really wanted to, I could have just played bishop here. So we're doing that. Okay, that actually was just a mistake on my part. Huh. Okay, so I just kind of blundered my attack, which all things considered, when you make a mistake in your attack and you don't even lose material and you only lose 2 pawns, and you've still got pressure on his king and he has none on yours, maybe things aren't so bad. And he can't even defend this pawn. Go figure. So I'm getting 1 pawn back at the very least. Probably both of them, to be honest. There's 1 pawn back. That seems like a terrible move, but okay. 2 pawns back. And there we go. And we're about to get a 3rd pawn back. Well, not really a 3rd pawn, but, you know. Though I could have just taken that. Whatever. Now I definitely can't next move. How do I want to do this? Because I do need to be careful that these don't get these pawns don't get rolling. I guess I can play this. Play this. And get this amazing check in. Okay. Huh. Yeah, that's not going to work out for me. Okay, let's freeze this pawn. When you look at this, he's not in a good spot. He needs to move his knight now. How do I want to do this? Man, if only I could... Here we go. That's where I want it. Yeah, he's going to get the check, but does that really matter in the grand scheme of things? This is a tough game. Why do elections in the past have... Why were elections in the past landslides? Because the nation kind of liked having landslides. They... Okay, so I can stop this pawn. And all rook endings are drawn anyway. There we go. One back my pawn. Now I need to focus on getting this pawn down the board. Okay, I don't want to do that. So we're going to go here. And then I'm going to go here and start pushing this pawn. Why did I just do that? I hate endings. I really do. See where he moves. Okay, there. So we're going to do this. Go here. And the worst part is I can't even... Ugh. That's actually pretty clever. Because now when he takes... So we're going to go here. And now he actually can't do that. Go figure. He can't advance his pawn. That's funny that he can't advance his pawn. So what I'm going to do is here. Unfortunately, now he could. But that will allow me this pretty cool tactic. Okay, actually... Ugh. Okay, so how do I win this? I think this is a loss. Maybe it's not. Because it's actually pretty hard for him to get his queen out if I were able to keep checking. Man, if only I could keep checking. But yeah, this is a loss now that I think about it. Ugh, I always hate that. Let's see. Okay. Finally, we get to have some fun. Or not. I don't understand why people decline this pawn. They should know that they can accept the pawn. Wow. No, I get a fork trick in the freaking King's Gambit. Oh, I'm so happy about this. I don't even care that this is on the edge of what sound. Oh, this is funny. Oh, this is funny. And the best part is I have the open file. I have his knight. I'm still attacking this bishop. This bishop, well, I was about to say it isn't trapped, but it's awful close. I have a massive, massive center. I'm going to play queen f3. We're going to defend that pawn, which I should have played first, but whatever. Doesn't even matter. Okay. We're going to play this because I want the big center. If he checks, we're going to get this. Really? Really, 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 really? Really? Come on now. I'm going to play here. I've got the choice to castle whichever direction I want. Oh my word. Okay, so we're going to play here, which stops this. So actually, I do need the castle queenside. And the way I'm going to do that is just threaten this piece. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's see what he does. I'm still a little surprised about that one. Okay. Yeah, okay, that seems like bad planning because he gave me a check. We're going to take, get the castle. And I'm about to take a pawn and just be a pawn for the good. So he clearly wants to take there. Problem is, I have a tempo on his queen. I have an extra tempo. So when he takes my queen, I just wound up a piece for the good. Exactly. And I'm almost positive that game is my brother. So I can put it on hold, even though I love him. I love him dearly. Okay. I dealt with a lot of people. Okay, so I am not going to give him the satisfaction. I typically play d5 against this, even though maybe it's not objectively best. It gives me knight f6 without having to deal with, stuff. I get the pin. I'm castling. This should just be good for me. Yeah, we're going to castle. He gets the castle too, but he's essentially got all the bad that comes with it. I'm going to undermine his center. If I can trade queens, yeah, exactly, and develop for free, this is just good for me. So, yeah, we're material equal, but I'm just better. Because his pieces are a little bit awkward. Mine have natural squares. This bishop's going to drop back. I'm going to play a6. It stops any b5 ideas. I'm going to come to the open file. I'm just going to have, okay, so actually I do have to take this. I don't want to isolate my pawns, so knight here and d3 is a great square, especially when I got my rook here. And that's honestly worth a pawn. Or even two. Said two connected outside pass pawns. It's still worth a lot to get this really well-placed knight. And all my pieces are coordinating very, very well. My pieces are going to be a lot more active than his. The real concern is, will it be enough to counter these two pawns coming up the board? And I'm not positive about that. That is a tough, tough question to ask. Really? He didn't even want the pawn. Well, in that case, I'm going to play here. Goodness gracious, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, here we go. Well, I obviously, if I could fragment his pawn structure. Yeah, okay, he's going to take this, but I get bishop to here. And this just doesn't look pleasant, to be honest. Because I can take here with the discovery if he played, or whatever. I guess taking here with the discovery is better. So he doesn't have a safe square, it looks like. Yeah. Okay, I get a pawn. We're gonna trade off all the rooks. I have two bishops versus each other. So when he takes here, which he should, I take here. He's going to take my rook. I get to take back. He's probably going to get the check, and I'm just going to walk my king into the center, cover off this pawn. My knight's going to be a hell of a lot more active than his. Okay. I don't want to drop the piece, so what I'm going to do is just give myself a little bit of a shield. He could play bishop to b5. Now, if that happens, okay, that's not what I would have played. Now I've got b5 covered. He can't advance his pawn. If I could get rid of this bishop, take knight here is an amazing move. Maybe I'll threaten the bishop. Okay, so he obviously saw that. Let's see. I'm going to want to do this and just move my king to the center, except that's very difficult to do. King's going to be best here. Oh, that is a big issue, isn't it? Okay. I don't want to wreck my pawn, so taking that off the board is not a big deal to me. So I'm going to blockade. And if he wants to get rid of my blockade, he's not going to. My knight's, well, his knight's pretty active, but he just doesn't really have a good way to stop me from eating this pawn. He's going to play here. Okay, so I'm actually going to stop him from ever playing this move. Play this. Yep, we're going to do this. He's probably going to put his knight here. I obviously don't want to trade because that's just better for him, I think. So we're going to go here. My king's job is to go over to here. My knight needs to, oh, goodness gracious, I think I just found a way to lose my knight. Terrific. Okay. Depends on what he does. That was terrific. Will Kentucky ever go blue? There's a chance. I mean, obviously in our lifetime, it's bound to happen at some point. Okay, so I just want to go here. He's going to play knight to there. I mean, with absolute best play, this should be a draw. As long as I keep my king over on this side of the board. Now, see, this is the good news. He can't advance this pawn. He has to advance this one. And that's where my king is going to do its work. Now he's going to have to go over to here. But I think I can protect. Okay, I can gain a tempo by doing this. Leave. I guess I'm going to have to give up this pawn. That maybe wasn't the best. Maybe it was, because I'm about to win his knight, and then I can find a way to sacrifice it for 2 pawns. If he takes my knight, I'm going to have to sacrifice my knight. I absolutely know it. Okay, now I'm going to have to run my king over here. I need to find a way to sacrifice my knight for all of these pawns. Here we go. He's going to go here. Let's see if he... Oh, crap, I just blundered it. That's a loss. I need to move here, forcing him to under-promote to a knight. That was fantastic. That was absolutely terrible. What's more likely, president to be president, a red state Democrat or a blue state Republican? I'm actually going to say a blue state Republican. Because to me, blue state Republicans, they are just Republican enough for red states to agree with them. Red state Democrats tend to be too conservative to appeal to, say, Midwestern states, and they're not conservative enough to appeal to, say, your average Republican, if that makes sense. And plus, some red state Republicans just aren't, or some red state Democrats just aren't, you know, conservative at all. So it's likely that they will not do anything. So there we go. There we go. I really need to practice my endings, to be honest. That's cute. I almost fell for that. Defend this now. If he takes, I don't lose a pawn. So we're actually going to do this. We're going to take here. Take here. There we go. And win the queen. This is a super basic tactic. I've won a ton of games like this. That's such a ludicrous idea. Oh man, Dick Cheney were the nominee. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. There you go. It's always nice when you win a game in 11 moves. There we go. Got the, what you calls it? Hey, it's a Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Lose for me. Yeah, no, the other day I actually was above 1900, which ugh. I decided to, you know, have a little bit to drink. That's a terrible idea. Goodness gracious. I don't see why he played Queen A5. That's not really a useful move. In fact, it could be a very unuseful move. Okay. So he's taking advantage of the fact that that's pinned. So I do actually need to play F3. Took there. You know, going to F5 might be better. I don't want to go to F5 or B5. No, we're going to B5. Take advantage of the D6 square, which is extremely weak right now. And the problem is he has to go, he can't defend the B6 square. So we go there. We take here. We're going to go here and play knight D5. Or he's going to do that and try and win this pawn with a fork. I personally don't see that as a viable strategy. Actually, we're going to, yeah, we can actually castle kingside and play knight D5 here, and we're just threatening just about everything. What aren't we threatening? But I do think bishop here is better. So we're going to play bishop check. Or not bishop check. Wow, that's crazy. Well, yeah, Arizona was right on that edge. Montana, Missouri, yeah, Missouri was right on the edge. Georgia, I don't think would flip. It was just that red at that point in time. Maybe I could see that. So we're going to go here. It's a thing. Let me pull that app up. Let's see what's going on there. I'm not even sure if I know how to stream on Twitch. Somebody said that somewhere else. Let's see. Well, I'm still going to play this because now I have the option of castling either direction. So he wants to trade queens, does he? Does he? And I don't have the option to decline. Or do I? No, I don't, but it was an honest question. I'm going to take castle king side. I probably should have castled queen side because I'm going to be able to play d4 here in a second. Or you could do that. Play d6 and just give me a gigantic hole to attack. That's an option. I'm going to take there. Play rook d1, bishop g5, f4. And see, his endgame is going to be bad in theory because, well, obvious reasons. He's got this. Okay, so he's going to play h6 to prevent me from playing bishop g5. Okay, that doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. I'm preventing him from doing castling kingside. If he takes here, he's just giving my bishop a wonderful place to go. Yeah, exactly. So if he plays here, I can just take here, and I've got an amazing pawn. I don't see why he would do that. That just seems like a bad idea. Why would he want to do that? Why does DC always vote Democrat? Because it's an urban area. I don't think it's just such a very uber urban area. Okay, so he wants to attack that pawn. Ugh. We're going to do this. Takes. I'm probably going to take back, and then I get this, which pins a knight, and I win it if he does that. So I don't think he's going to do that. And even if he does take this and I don't win the piece through winning, I get my pawn back through that. Okay, so we're going to take. Remember, he could go here, but why would he give me another pawn for this? This just seems bad for him. Okay, so he wants to do that. Well, I'm going to win my pawn back this way. I'm curious. I am curious as to where he's going to put the knight. Okay, so he wants to go there. I don't see it doing anything there. We're going to go here. Win the pawn back. Actually, I've won an entire pawn. I'm going to do this. Get to play here. I don't even care that he's going to win an entire rook. I've got a freaking monster of a pawn here. Don't want to give him that because that's just good for him. Maybe I do just want. I mean, he's not really threatening anything if he takes. So, or yeah, if he takes with check, gets my bishop out of a precarious situation. His rook is kind of in a not so good place. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so he wants to go here. That would actually be mate. Problem is, I can just take this, and the weird thing, I needed to protect that pawn. Dang it! There's no winning this. I kind of just blundered that. That's amazing. Illinois is the most corrupt state, or yeah, no, it's Illinois. Though, let's be honest, all governments are corrupt. Okay, he played E3. That's not that critical. Played that. I bet he's hoping I play G5, then he gets a mate in one. Not going to do that. But yeah, Illinois is probably the most corrupt state. Curious what he's going to play. That doesn't seem healthy. So we're going to play here. Giving me exact. This is terrible for him. Why would anyone play this? I mean, he's given my. I needed this. I needed this. This is pretty cathartic. Okay, so we're going to play knight here. Oh, it's going to help me break e5 later. Play this. Oh, this is funny. Okay. Well, this is some jank if I've ever seen it. He doesn't even have an attack on this side of the board, to be honest. I'm gonna break e5, play in the center. This game will be over pretty quickly, I think. That said, I mean, this pawn is annoying, but it's about to fall when I play e5. Because then I've opened up an attack with my queen. That was a bit of a drunk queen, but yeah. When you're a grandmaster, you can make those types of moves. Okay, sacrificing the bishop. That's interesting. That said, he doesn't even have a checkmate there. That's sad. See, the problem is when I go here, he doesn't realize that here I get my king, I get my king out of any real danger. So he wants to do that, eh? Well, I just defend against both checkmate threats. Said I did need to be a little bit concerned he just played there because I can't take. I go here. Okay. And that. Why did I not just take his queen? That baffles me, but I took it anyway. So I'm not sure if that actually matters. I always hate it when my opponents play jank. Who will be the worst Democrat nominee in 2020? I actually found someone worse than Nancy Pelosi. I actually found a Democrat who would be worse than Nancy Pelosi. And that was, I think it was Blagojevich, the guy who got arrested for, literally got arrested and went to federal prison for corruption because he sold former Senator and former President Obama's Senate seat. Okay, so he wants to do that. Honestly, I'm just going to play d6, c6, b5. That should... no, I can't even do that. I just have to win his bishop. Ugh. We're going to play here. Do need to be careful he doesn't do that. That's peculiar. I don't see what the purpose of that is. Does he really want to win my knight? See, now I'm threatening to take his bishop. He has to retreat somehow. Okay. I'm going to do that. I will play bishop here, which is not the normal development square for the bishop. Normally you want to wait, and the bishop's going to come out to one of these squares as soon as this f-pawn moves. This guy is trying to play some weird jank against the Leningrad Dutch, which is annoying, but... So we're going to play this. He doesn't have time to collect the rook. I actually didn't think he had time to collect the rook. That was weird. Huh. Well, I've just lost an entire rook somehow. I really hate... Ugh. That was just a blunder. That was really bad. Okay, so this guy has a provisional rating. How many games? 4 games. Okay, so he must have... Yeah, okay. I should be able to win against this. If I take my time and actually calculate. Yeah, okay. See, he moved his queen back. That's probably the best way to play the Scandinavian. Phoenix Jukebox. That's a nice handle. Actually, I want to castle queenside. See, his knight can't go to g4 now. He's going to... Yeah, okay. So, wow, he's insisting that everything gets pinned. Goodness gracious. Well, I don't want to double my pawns. Especially where I'm going to castle. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So what am I going to do? I'm going to play h3. He's going to probably go here. Good players don't want to be pinned. I'm going to do this. Keep contact here. Okay. Fine with that. We need to keep that there. Unfortunately, he did kind of do what I didn't want him to do. Get this. So I unfortunately have to move my king back to the middle, which is a little concerning. But is it? Is it really that concerning? Because he doesn't have development. He's not developed at all. And I am, and my pieces are actually around my king. So we're going to play this. He's going to get a little bit of pressure, I bet. But I don't think it'll be enough. I can actually play c3 and support this. Well, first I guess I have to do this, which, ugh. Trading off piece is actually very good for me, so. If he plays here, I guess I have this, something. This is not a fun position. I'm going to play this. He does have a little bit of development, I'll give him that. Play here. See, now he can't advance. Loses queen. Trying to do this. Did I just... No, okay. and hit his queen. This is a mess. Now this pawn is actually under threat, which is good for me, I guess. He can't even promote it, so what, do I really care? Maybe I could even play, yeah, okay. I don't even care because he isn't actually threatening anything with it. We can do this, threaten this pawn, so he's probably going to play here, and then where does my knight go? Probably to e4, just better placed on this square. But yeah, no, this is not a fun position for me. Just in general. Okay, so that's a check. That's not good. But knight b4 is a little concerning for me. So how do I want to handle knight b4? I could play g5. Actually, a decent move. Now he's going to promote to queen. That just doesn't seem right. I guess I have to. I have to take. We're going to take here. I can take here. I can go here. So he actually wants to do this. Rook. Ugh. This is not fun. I thought maybe I had some semblance of an attack, but turns out I don't. You know, if he wanted my rook, he could have just taken this, and then it was queen versus. Then it was just queen versus bishop, and that's good for him. And this is resignable. I just kind of blundered that. That was really bad. I didn't play that well at all. Oh shit! Sorry. Who do I think? You know what his or her name? Who is more worse than Nancy Pelosi? Blagojevich. No, Obama doesn't deserve the hate. What was your question about Minnesota? Could you repeat your question about Minnesota? Because I don't remember that question. I was too busy trying to calculate. But no, Obama doesn't deserve the hate he's getting. Well, that was oopsies. Except now we just. Okay. That was weird. I'm going to go here. F4 is actually a good square for this knight. It's going to allow me to later play F5. Is Minnesota Great Lakes or Great Plains? Both. It is both. I'm curious, if he takes here, go here. I guess I do actually have to take that. Not happy, but I have to take it. Good thing is, he's on the wrong diagonal to actually exploit it. Because now I'm going to get a ton of pressure on this square. Yeah, so no, I'd say Minnesota is both, because it has definitely Great Plains parts, and that'd be west of the Twin Cities, but it's also got Great Lakes area near Duluth and near the Wisconsin border. It does border Lake Superior. And in fact, part of the state wanted to break off with part of, well, it depends on who you ask. Part of the Superior region wanted to break with part of the, with Michigan, parts that wanted to be with Michigan and parts that wanted to be with, I'm honestly surprised he didn't want to take this pawn instead, and of course win the rook. I mean, he wouldn't win the rook, but, you know, he'd win a couple of pawn. No, he'd win one pawn for sure instead. But I would sacrifice all that for an attack. Because guess what? This doesn't look pleasant for him. I would not describe this as pleasant. Thing is, I'm about to take here, here. I mean, I'm attacking this. Okay, so he wants to attack that. We're going to defend our rook via discovery. And now he's off the dark square, so that bishop has to move. This is where he runs into the problems. Because I can take it, I've won a pawn, and I'm about to checkmate him. Here's his problem. He goes here, I'm forcing him up the board. And if he, I don't really think he can do that. I think I've just won. I don't see what he's doing to defend against this. That said, I'm going to finish the day above 1800, and then I think I'm going to call it because I do, well, yeah, I do actually need to eat. So is Oklahoma part of the South of the Great Plains? If you listen to the natives of Oklahoma, they do have a bit of a southern twang, but not much. So they're definitely more of a Great Plains state, regardless of who you ask. That's just checkmate. Yeah. Okay, so. Fine. We'll give him a rematch. Okay, so he's a Sicilian player. Okay. But he's one of the boring Sicilian players. Yeah, that's really bad. That's one of the really bad Sicilians. If you take my opinion for it. That's one of the really bad ones. Let's see. Now I guess I could play this, or it might be more accurate to play here. though he would have this square available to him. Ugh. Though I probably should take this pawn with check when I get the chance. Wait, this might be mate. Oh, this is going to be so... Oh, this is going to be beautiful. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, discovery. Queen is going to go here. I check. King is going to be forced to this square. I check. Oh, my word. Oh. I'm getting his... Oh, yes. Please, baby. Give it to me. Oh. Oh, I should have taken this. Whatever. I've literally just won his queen for both of my knights. I mean, yeah, it did cost me both of my knights. We're going to play f3, develop our bishop. I'm going to play a4 so I can develop to the most aggressive square of c4. Actually, I'm going to play c3 first. Keeps his knight out of these squares. It's going to give me a place to drop my bishop back to when he attempts to attack it with probably knight a5. Knight e5 is possible. Okay, so he wants to keep me going there. Well, that's just a problem for him because he's got that to deal with. You know, it's probably just better if I go here and castle. Because he can't. Yeah, so see, I'm going to go here. Any trades are beneficial to me. And do this. He doesn't really have any trades available. If he goes here, I guess I can drop my bishop back all the way home. Okay, that actually was you. That was an attempt. Yes. We can drop the bishop here. And castle, yeah, it's a little bit loose, but does it really honestly matter when I'm up the material I am? If John C. Fremont was from Georgia, why did he not fight with Confederate states? Fremont was part of the Free Soil Party and eventually the Republican Party, partially because Fremont hated the notion of slavery. He thought it was the most abhorrent thing to ever be devised by humankind. He would have been an abolitionist, but I'm skeptical of how effective that would have been. Okay. He could go to here, but then I just X-ray him. Yeah, this is not going to end well for him, is it? Yeah, but no, Fremont hated slavery. He would have professed himself as an abolitionist if it were politically expedient for him to do so. But of course, this was not a good time to be an abolitionist, so he never expressed his opinion on the matter. So it is what it is. Okay, so we're just going to drop back a little bit further. I don't want to lose his bishop because it comes with a check. I'm going to just take this one, attack here. He's not actually attacking anything. That was clever. I'll give him that. So we're just going to bring our rook into the game. do is put my queen here on the dark square. He's only got a light square bishop, so dark squares are safe for my queen. Play c4. Actually, yeah, I can play c4 and just get away with it. I'm curious about that, but okay. And yes, I do have my AC on because it's umpteen 100 degrees outside and it's too damn hot. And this just wins a rook. So this is going to be my last game, again, provided I do win, which is extremely likely at this point. As a matter of fact, rook takes on d7 is mate. If he doesn't, yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Who's the worst singer, Bieber or Jackson? I'm saying Bieber because fuck that guy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.